So this is episode 30 of the Mindful Living Show, and as you can see, this is a very different format. The sun is shining. I'm here with my wonderful soulmate, partner in crime, wife, Sonya, and we're going to do a slightly different episode for episode 30. And I can't think for me, it's been a lot about this kind of embracing change and kind of welcoming change. I know a lot of people I've talked to, and I know it's the same for you, is they've kind of almost fallen into two camps. You have the one camp that's sort of, fearing it, feeling, it's disaster and everything, and then the other camp who are very much, okay, how can I do what I do but differently? There's this word which has become almost a bit of a cliche, but it's really, really key, I think, here, is pivoting. It's kind of like you're facing in this direction, you've got all your life dreams and aspirations and goals and stuff, and then suddenly a situation occurs and you've got to pivot and go at a slightly different angle, maybe the same outcome in the end, but it's just a different kind of approach. And I guess that's really kind of how and where your course was born.
Yes, how was it born? I'm trying to remember. Well, it was really born because of clients coming to me, and I practice Reiki and crystal therapy, but clients were saying that they'd really like to learn a bit about crystals and how to use them themselves. And at that point I hadn't considered delivering a crystal course. I was thinking more about my Reiki. So it was really as a request from a client, and then that grew, and a few other people said, I'd be really interested to do that. So originally it was supposed to be a physical course in my new little training centre, which I was busy decorating in January and February this year, which was literally completed the week before lockdown. And I had this course booked in, 2 different courses on different dates, but for the same topic, the crystal course, but obviously had to cancel those. And again, I guess you could see that as a negative thing and be disappointed, but actually in lots of ways, again, I felt that was a real help to me, because I knew I wanted to record it for my own purposes, to then be clear of my material, to then deliver it to this physical group that was going to be coming to my training centre. In hindsight, I think I would have struggled to do it in a week, which is what I'd planned. I still would have done it, like everything in life. You just do, don't you? You just cope with what you're given. But looking back now, it's been really useful having to postpone that course and move it. It's probably going to be August now. And instead, I've recorded it, gone through all the material in depth, repeating it a few times, because obviously I had to do retakes, and knowing it thoroughly, and then getting feedback from people. So it actually now means that the physical course, when it does happen, the workshop, I'll be in, a prime position to deliver something that's really honed and well tuned. And the course is now available on Udemy, and it's been split actually. So it's the first course in what will be a trio. So it introduces people to energy management. I talk about emotional bank accounts, whether you're an empath or not, how to use the law of attraction. And lots of people know about the law of attraction, but they can't quite work out why it doesn't quite work for them. So I break it down into 7 golden nuggets, which is my take on it. And then I also integrate about heart coherence, how to tap into your heart's wisdom. And that also links with quantum field science, and I delve a bit into that, the quantum field of possibilities, and how to change the frequency that we all resonate at, so that we can tap into different versions of ourselves and tap into the law of attraction better. And then bringing in the idea of crystals and how you can use those as tools for healing. But the difference with this course is that I really, really believe that crystals are like mini teachers to us. They're produced in the core of the earth, so therefore they're pure and in harmony. Each crystal has its own personality, hence it has different colours, a different energy frequency. And when they're placed on our chakras, they act as little mirrors, if you like, to say, Oi chakra, remember how you're supposed to be. You're a little bit out of kilter here. I'll help you move back into place. But I work very intuitively, and I think a lot of crystal courses can get quite bogged down in crystal grids and layouts and having to know all the properties of different crystals, and then it can get quite overwhelming and confusing. Now that might be great for some people who can take in that kind of level of knowledge, but for me, because I'm naturally intuitive, I prefer to trust nature. and I prefer to trust our own innate wisdom and also the resonance of the crystals. So what I'm teaching people in this course, as first and foremost, is to ignite their intuition, the innate guidance system that we all have within us, but we've dulled down for many years, decades, generations, because we're all too busy in our lives. We're distracted by too many things and pressures, so we're not able to tap into what our bodies feel and our innate wisdom. So in this course, I'm igniting that by introducing people to practical skills and tools. There's demonstrations, practical exercises, and then by igniting that intuition, then you're in a better place to choose the healing modalities that will really make a difference to you as an individual, because everyone is so different. And I think what people don't realise about crystals is that what one crystal will do for me is totally different for you. So although you can buy beautiful crystal books, and I have them too, and they're still good references, you will look at a write-up about amethyst, for example, and yes, it generally may be good to help with sleep at night, thought processes, also putting it near computers for electromagnetic stress and reducing that. However, what amethyst does for me will be unique and different for what it will do for you. And also what amethyst does for me today will be different to what it does tomorrow for me. So that is why this course is different, because it's teaching people to tune in to their intuition so they can use that as a guidance to select the right things on a particular day, particular time for a particular person.
So I want to pick up on this thing about energy. You've used the word energy in kind of multiple points there as you've been describing that in the course. So am I right in thinking then that there are you've talked about energy bank account, and I'm feeling the way that you describe that is very much that there is this reserve of energy. Not just, I think most people think of energy as physical energy, so it's kind of how much energy have I got to do my day, but I think the way you're describing it is it's emotional energy, probably is physical energy, it's probably intellectual energy, could be, I'm guessing, spiritual energy. There could be a whole range of different energies here. And in this kind of time where there is this uncertainty, people are out of their routines and stuff, what can they do to kind of start to even get in touch with this kind of energy concept?
So energy is everything. Everything is made up of energy. So science says that energy in fact cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed. So when somebody dies, for example, their energy doesn't disappear, it goes somewhere. So you could either say it goes into the earth as their ashes and becomes organic matter, and it's still energy of a sort, it's still molecules and atoms of carbon, and those carbon elements are bound together by molecular bonds, it's all energy. Or you could say that their energy, the essence of them, their soul, goes somewhere. So whatever way you look at it, whether it's a physical thing or a spiritual thing or an emotional thing, it's all energy, I believe, and science has proven. So I think what's difficult for us as humans is that we're living a physical life, and I know some people say we are spiritual beings living a physical life. So we like to trust things that we can touch and feel and smell and hear and taste, because that's using our five senses. But there's a lot more out there than our five senses can pick up on. And I think the energies during lockdown, people talk about there being a new phase for the planet and the cosmos, and there's new energies coming in, and there's changes and shifts in frequencies of the earth. I think it is empowering people if we take the time to notice that we're opening up our sixth sense, this intuition. And the more we can be open and curious, I love this word curious, it's one of my mottos, if you like, in the mornings, that I always say, oh, please can my heart remain open, playful and curious. Because if we're curious, it means we can be slightly objective, away from ourselves, and we can almost look down on ourselves in a petri dish, if you like, as a bit of an experiment and an adventure. And why am I feeling off today? And why during lockdown have I had a really stressful day and an argument with my partner or the children? What's going on there? You can be a bit curious about it instead of being critical, so you can witness yourself, which I think is a really nice way of looking at it.